10 years ago. The date was November 21st, 2014. For the last few years at the time, a joke was going around known as Hoenn confirmed. And on this day, Hoenn was truly confirmed. Welcome to another one of these videos where we take a look back at the Pokemon game that came out a decade prior. On this edition, we have Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Specifically Alpha Sapphire, because that was the one, that was the copy of this duo that I had originally played on release. I didn't actually get Pokemon Omega Ruby until like about a year later. I only got this game, so the only difference is with this game is that this is the first Pokemon game that I got when I was already doing content. All the previous games that I've shown on this channel were Pokemon games that I got before I had a YouTube channel, which is a little bit of an unfortunate cause because there's a lot less cool stuff to look into. I mean, there still is stuff to look at. The only difference is I don't have a lot of stuff completed, if you know what I mean. First and foremost, we're going to break it down. Name was Heart because that was the old name of the channel, Gearheart. There was a reason that I was in Fortress City all the time, and I can't remember, but I did play it for 327 hours and 26 minutes. But there's not really too much to cover, unfortunately. The Pokemon that I have, kind of. I mean, the only Pokemon I have is the starter from the game when I played the game. It has the Hoenn Champion ribbon, the Smile ribbon. I'm not exactly sure where you get that. You get the Footprint ribbon from somewhere. Not entirely sure where, but that was the starter that I started with. I do know that I constantly looked at the PC, and I kept going down. Lynette's PC, of course. And as you can see here, what I would do with this copy of Alpha Sapphire is battle content back in the day. After this came out in 2014, 2015, and into 2016, I did a lot of just like 6v6 single battles and battle spot. And you're probably wondering, where did the Pokemon go? All these boxes are empty. Most of them are Pokemon Bank now. I'd have to imagine, at least. There's not really many cool Pokemon here to cover. Mr. Dumpy. That's an interesting nickname. And a lot of these Pokemon aren't very exciting. I mean, you do have the remaining members of the team of when I originally played. This is a Riff the Mightyena. This is an interesting, funny nickname for this Swellow. It's, if you just try to guess in the comments if you want to, how you pronounce this name. If you said it was kamikaze, I like the word kamikaze, well then you're absolutely right. I'm proud of you. Mainly because the punctuation mark is a comma into the word kaze. I always really like that. Kendall the Manectric, I'm not really sure why. I hate that nickname, by the way, for that Latias. I'm not sure what the remaining Pokemon was. Not entirely sure where they're at, because it's replaced with a Beldum. This is a perfect example of what I mean by this was a content cartridge. Because this is a Pokemon Draft League team from 2016. I think it was the Pokemon Global League Season 3. I made playoffs, I think for the first time. I think this was my third or fourth Draft League, I'm not sure. But, yeah, they allowed Kyurem White for some reason, and I took high advantage of that. This was Battle Spot Champions, and we're gonna cover this because I can't really explain the whole point of this game cartridge on the cartridge because I'm gonna have to show you. But a lot of this is, like, I didn't really use many of these Pokemon outside of Battle Spot, but I will explain it when I get to it. Like, all these random Pokemon I'm just confused about. I do remember that I genned in these Pokemon, and then the fact of the matter is that this is this Pokemon is illegal as hell. This is the Eternal Flower Floette, except it's shiny. Yeah, that's hell of illegal. I never used it online. I'm wondering if this is why later this game got banned off of online. Fun fact, I actually had to switch to my copy of Omega Ruby for Battle Spot Champions because I actually couldn't play on like the online battling thing. I could still connect to the internet and do singles. I just couldn't do it anywhere else. So that was the unfortunate thing. Again, some of these boxes I'm so confused by, and they're just not entirely... I don't have any explanation. I have no memory. All these are just here. You know? I have a ton of Mews for some reason. I have no damn reason why. At all. I don't know why I have 40 Chimchars. Like, what is even going on here? And this is the part of the boxes where all of my competitive Pokemon were arranged by Smogon tiers. If they were here, and as you can tell, they're not here, only because, like I said, they went to Pokemon Bank, and most of them are in Pokemon Home. Like, I had a bunch of stuff, like, these are all the like, the 6 IV Dittos with the Jolly, like, those natures. I'm not sure why is this name allowed? What the... Yeah, as you can see, the remaining boxes are empty as hell. There's not too much to cover outside of that. But if I look over here, hang on a moment, I'm gonna pop into the records. First game clear in Hall of Fame. There's only 2 of them, actually. And that's not the first one, of course. This is the first one. And, oh, it was an Aggron. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Because you saw the other one. I don't know why I nicknamed this Queen, but, if you didn't know how I created my in-game team, I would always have certain categories. We have a Fire type. We have a Dark/Ghost/Psychic type, that being this Latias. We have an Electric type, because the last time that I used it, Grass type for this slot, I kept getting ran over by Water types that have Ice type moves, so I didn't really like that. And ever since then, I would use an Electric type, because that's a lot easier to run. I then would always have a Physical type, this being the Special type coverage, and this is the Physical being Rock, Steel, or Ground, because that would allow me to use Earthquake. And other moves like that. I'm not sure. This one goes against it. Oh, it's because of the extra. There's a Fighting type. I said Fire, but I didn't say Fighting. So this is where the Fighting type went. And if I can combine 2 of those, like let's say there's an Electric Fighting type later on in a new Pokemon game, then that opens up for a new type. In this instance, this Mighty Anna was here. And then I always try to get a Flying type. Mainly because for HMs for Fly, but obviously that isn't a thing anymore because they've kind of outlawed HMs. And that game completion was on December 1st, so the Versus Recorder, where you could... I don't think I have the same... Oh, no, I have 25. I'm going to quickly go down the list and try to tell you who I battled. This is Hayden. Like, hey done. You probably already know him. That's Mr. Murkrow. And this was a fantastic battle. I'm not really going to watch it. You can probably find this on in like one of the playlists. It's the LBA. This is GBA D-League Week 1. GBA D-League Week 2, because that was Heart Attack. This is, I forgot her name. That's Mighty Mamoswine. I am the reason that M&J hates Clefable. And it was this battle. And it's a fun fact that I like to bring up. This is... Honestly, I can't remember who this... Like, which one this one is. This is Tesla Mouse, because this was a Belly Drum Charizard X. There's a lot of memories here, because that's Jodor. This is Shady Penguin, by the way, so... This was my 100th battle on my channel. You can find it in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire playlist for Wi-Fi battles. And then you get into people that I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember who this is. Obviously, this is Seabad. This was from the PGL. I think this one's Papacy. As you can see here, actually, it even switches to a trainer named Rena here on the left. I actually didn't know that I could check the versus recorder and it would account for those battles from a different game, because that is my copy of Omega Ruby. That's really interesting. But for the most part, like, that realistically is all I can really show. Like I said, since this is the first game I did for content, there really isn't anything extra. Like, I didn't really go to the Battle Mason like I normally would have in the past. And instead, what I did was I actually have most of my content here. I'm not really going to show too much of it. Like, it's just kind of a blast from the past at this point. Seeing this. Like, this is where it started. Like, this, the copy that I used in this was this copy of Alpha Sapphire. Including all this, like some of these names is just funny. Stay away from my mom's butt, and I have no idea where, like, what I was thinking in that time. Like, I'm just gonna fan through these, unless there's something extra, because, like, you have the Primal Battle League, because, like I said, just those stuff that I showed you was half the battle of my time playing Alpha Sapphire. The other half, primarily, was on YouTube, which kind of blows my mind. Because, like, I actually shared my experiences already. Like, it even switches up over to here. And, like I said, Alpha Sapphire took a long time. You can't see it, but, like, this one, putting the new back in new Mobile, came out January 7th. So it was already almost 2 months afterwards that this came out. And like I mentioned before, with Battle Spot Champions, the actual PC box in the game, the actual videos themselves are just fun to do. Because as you can see here, there's like, these are playoffs. So it was this whole system where I would take 6 Pokemon that people had suggested to bring in. And what I would do is, I'd bring 3 to the first game, find the MVP of that game, have the second one, have the other 3 in the battle, find the MVP of that game, and then try to get the best of the 4 in the third game, 4 remaining, and then find the remaining MVP, and then that would be the wildcard MVP. Those 3 would then keep on coming back. They would be the champions of that video, and then would be able to come back for the next one, and then I would have 3 new ones. All of that, I would then follow with the playoffs, where I would bring back the best of the best, and then I would have the best of the 6 out of these 4, and then in the final battle would be the best of the 3 to see who was the MVP. I had a lot of great memories, and it was honestly a lot of fun. We're now into 2016 at this point, and that's the biggest issue with the next, if I want to react to Pokemon Sun, that doesn't happen until 2026. And the main crux of that issue is that, sure, I had a lot of build-up leading to that, but I didn't really put too much content into it because I burnt out. So I'm like, do I even still do it? Like, I was never sure. I can't tell you when I might come back to this channel for Pokemon content, because I just don't know. I don't know what Pokemon ZA is going to be like. I don't know what Pokemon, like, Gen 10, I think it... Like, that's my prediction. My prediction is Gen 10 comes out in 2026. Because, they're not going to have a DLC after, like, the year after. Nothing in the year after that. And then a spin-off game, Legends ZA, in the third year after that. And then not do Gen 10. But I truly believe that they are spending their time on it. That's why there was no game in 2024. So, man, it is such a blast from the past, because this wasn't a recap through, like, oh, these are the games that I played in my childhood. These are the games that I had so much memories with my friends. This was the first game that I really experienced with other people online and other people with content. I gotta go sit down and think about how much time has passed. It just really hits you. So with that, I gotta say. The transmission's out.